Let me ask you something. Right now, at this very moment, do you believe that your best days with women are behind you? Do you look in the mirror sometimes and think, I'm too old, too set in my ways, women my age don't want me, and younger women, they're not interested in a man like me? If any part of you just nodded, I need you to stop everything right now, because what I'm about to share with you in the next hour could completely change the way you see yourself and the way women see you. If you are new here, welcome to Daily Truth, the channel where we give you the real conversation. No sugarcoating, no empty motivation, just the truth that most people are too afraid to say out loud. Women of all ages cannot resist a man over 60 who carries himself a certain way. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. A few years ago, I found myself at a crossroads. I was in my early 60s, recently out of a long-term relationship that had slowly drained the life out of me. 22 years, 2 decades of trying to make something work that had stopped working somewhere around year 10. When it ended, I told myself I was fine. I told my friends I was fine. I told my children I was fine. But I wasn't fine. I was a man who had spent so many years being who everyone else needed me to be that I had completely forgotten who I was. I'd stopped going to the gym. I'd stopped dressing the way I used to dress when I was proud of myself. I'd stopped pursuing the things that excited me. I'd stopped having real conversations, deep, honest, meaningful conversations, because somewhere along the way, I decided it wasn't safe to be that open. And what did that do to me? It made me invisible. Not just to women, but to myself. I remember going to a family gathering about a year after the relationship ended. My nephew, who was in his 30s, was there with his girlfriend, and I watched them. The way she laughed at something he said, the way she leaned into him, the way her whole body just turned toward him naturally. And I remember thinking, I want that again, but is it even possible for a man my age? That question haunted me for months. So I started doing something I had never really done before. I started studying. Not women, but men. Men my age and older who still had that presence, that magnetism, that quiet power that made women pay attention when they walked into a room. And what I discovered completely rearranged everything. I thought I knew about attraction, masculinity, and what it really means to be a man at this stage of life. Confidence. The confidence I'm talking about is quiet. It is settled. It is the confidence of a man who has been through enough in this life to know exactly who he is and is no longer apologizing for it. When you carry real confidence, everything in your life changes. You make better decisions because you trust yourself. You set better boundaries because you know what you will and will not accept. You attract better people because you're operating from a place of strength, not desperation. Confidence at 60 is not the same as confidence at 30. At 30, confidence is often performance. It's about impressing others. But at 60, real confidence is about being completely at peace with the man you've become, failures, scars, victories, and all. That kind of confidence is rare, and it is absolutely magnetic. Here's a practical exercise. Every morning before you leave the house, stand in front of the mirror and say 3 things you respect about yourself. Not compliments, things you respect. Because self-respect is the foundation of confidence. A confident man carries less stress. He doesn't spend mental energy worrying about what others think of him. He sleeps better. He communicates better. He makes decisions faster and more clearly. His health improves because confidence reduces the cortisol that comes from constant self-doubt. Confidence literally makes you healthier, happier, and more effective in every area of your life. Here's what women will tell you if you ask them honestly about what attracts them to older men. The number one answer consistently is this: he knows who he is. A woman, especially a mature, emotionally intelligent woman, is exhausted by men who need constant validation, men who crumble at the first challenge, Men who change who they are depending on who's in the room. But a man who knows himself. A man who looks a woman in the eye without needing her approval. A man who can sit in silence and be completely comfortable. That man is irresistible. Because what she sees in his confidence is safety. She sees stability. She sees a man who will not fall apart when life gets hard. And at this age, that is worth more than looks, worth more than money, worth more than anything else. Confidence is not given to you. It is built. And it starts today, the moment you decide to stop shrinking. Purpose. A man with purpose is a man who is going somewhere. And there is nothing more attractive than a man who is driven by something larger than himself. Retirement, an empty nest, the end of a long career. These are transitions that can shake a man's identity to its core. Many men reach their 60s and realize that their entire identity was wrapped up in what they did, not who they are. Purpose gives you back your identity. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning that has nothing to do with anyone else's expectations. Purpose can look like a new business, a passion project, mentoring young men, volunteering, writing a book, building something with your hands, traveling with intention. When you have purpose, you have direction, and a man with direction is a man who is alive. Research shows that men who maintain a strong sense of purpose in their later years live longer, stay sharper mentally, and report significantly higher levels of happiness. Purpose protects you from depression, from isolation, from the quiet despair that takes too many men in their 60s and beyond. A purposeful man wakes up excited. He has things to talk about. He has things to work toward. He is engaged with the world, and that energy is visible to everyone around him. Ask any woman what she finds most unattractive, and a man with nothing going on will be near the top of that list. A man who sits in his house all day, with no drive, no vision, no engagement with life, that man makes a woman feel like she has to be his purpose. And that is a burden no woman wants to carry but a man who has his own purpose. A man who invites her into a life that is already full and meaningful. That man is magnetic. She wants to be part of something he is building. She wants to stand next to a man who matters. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to change the world, but it has to be real. It has to be something that makes your eyes light up when you talk about it. And that light in your eyes is something no woman can resist. Emotional intelligence. The ability to understand your own emotions, manage them wisely, and truly connect with the feelings of the people around you. Most men of our generation were raised to suppress their emotions. Boys don't cry, man up, don't be weak. We were taught that emotions were a liability, something to be hidden, not expressed, and what did that create? Men who are disconnected from themselves, men who struggle to articulate what they feel, men who blow up in anger because they never learned to process frustration, men who shut down when things get difficult. Developing your emotional intelligence at 60 is one of the most powerful acts of self-love you can perform. It means learning to name what you feel, to sit with discomfort without running from it, to communicate your needs clearly and calmly, to listen, really listen, without preparing your rebuttal while the other person is still talking. This is not weakness, this is mastery. Men with high emotional intelligence have better relationships with their children, their friends, their partners. They navigate conflict without destruction. They recover from loss without being broken. They build deeper connections with everyone they encounter. Emotional intelligence also reduces anxiety and depression because you are no longer at war with your own inner world. You understand yourself, and that understanding is freedom. Here is a truth that women rarely say out loud but feel deeply. Most women have spent years, sometimes decades, trying to emotionally connect with men who were simply not available on that level. Men who shut down, men who deflected, men who turned every deep conversation into an argument or a silence. So when a man over 60 sits across from her and actually listens, when he says, I hear what you're saying, and I want to understand. When he can be vulnerable without falling apart. When he can hold space for her emotions without trying to fix everything immediately. She has found something that is genuinely rare, and rare things are treasured. Emotional intelligence is the language of deep connection, and deep connection is what every woman at every age is ultimately searching for. Self-care. Not the kind you see in commercials with bubble baths and scented candles, although if that's your thing, no judgment. I mean intentional, consistent investment in your physical and mental well-being. Your body at 60 is different from your body at 40. It requires more attention, more rest, more deliberate nourishment, more movement. And if you have been neglecting it, eating poorly, not exercising, not sleeping enough, ignoring your health, it is catching up with you. Self-care at this stage of life means committing to a routine that keeps you strong, clear-headed, and energetic. It means going to the doctor. It means moving your body regularly, even if it's just a 30-minute walk every day. It means eating food that fuels you rather than destroys you. It means getting adequate sleep. It means limiting alcohol and other habits that steal your vitality. It also means grooming, how you dress, how you present yourself, not vanity but self-respect made visible. A man who takes care of himself feels better. He has more energy, more clarity, more confidence. He lives longer and lives better. And perhaps most importantly, the act of caring for yourself sends a message to your own subconscious. I am worth taking care of. And when you believe you are worth taking care of, everything else begins to shift. When a woman sees a man who takes pride in how he looks and feels, who carries himself with physical dignity, she sees a man who respects himself. And a man who respects himself will respect her. Women are also deeply practical. They want a partner who will be around, who will be healthy, who can match their energy. A man who is clearly investing in his health and vitality signals to a woman that he intends to be present, fully present for a long time. That is deeply attractive. You don't need a perfect body. You need a cared-for body. There is an enormous difference, and women can see it and feel it from across the room. Authenticity. The courage to be exactly who you are, without performance, without mask, without pretending to be someone you're not in order to impress anyone. Living inauthentically is exhausting. It takes enormous energy to maintain a version of yourself that isn't real. And over time, that performance erodes your self-esteem because deep down, you know the people around you are responding to a character, not to you. Authenticity means knowing your values and living by them. It means saying what you mean and meaning what you say. It means owning your story, the whole story, not just the parts you're proud of. It means being honest about where you are, what you want, and what you are willing to do to get it. At 60, you have lived enough life to have a genuine story. Don't hide it. Don't sanitize it. Your scars are proof of survival. Your failures are proof of effort. Your gray hair is proof of experience. Own it. When you are authentic, you attract authentic people. The right people, the people who truly belong in your life, can only find you when you are being real. The moment you drop the performance and just be yourself, the quality of your relationships transforms completely. Authenticity also brings peace. The peace of not having to remember what version of yourself you presented to whom. The peace of waking up in the morning and being the same person you were the night before. That peace is priceless. Women have a radar for inauthenticity, and it is extraordinarily accurate. They can sense when a man is performing, when his words don't match his energy, when he's telling her what she wants to hear rather than what is true. But an authentic man, a man who says, "This is who I am. I've been through things. I'm not perfect, but I'm real." That man disarms her completely, because authenticity creates trust, and trust is the foundation of every great relationship. Be real, be honest, be yourself. It is the most powerful thing you can do. Before I send you off today, I need to say something that I need you to really hear. Not as information, as truth. You are not too old. You are not too damaged. You are not too set in your ways. You are not past your prime. I don't care what the culture says about men over 60. I don't care what the media shows you. I don't care what your inner critic has been whispering in your ear for years. None of that is the truth about you. The truth is this. You are a man who has survived things that would have broken lesser people. You are a man who has loved, lost, worked, built, fallen, and gotten back up more times than you can count. You carry stories in your bones that other men are still decades away from earning. And all of that is worth loving. I want you to make a commitment to yourself today, not to a woman, not to anyone else, to yourself. The commitment to stop seeing your age as a limitation and to start seeing it as your greatest asset. The commitment to invest in yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, not because it will make you more attractive to someone else, but because you deserve to live fully. The commitment to pursue joy, to laugh more, to connect more deeply, to say the things that have been sitting in your chest unsaid for too long. Because here's what I know after everything I've studied, everything I've lived, and every conversation I've had with men your age. The men who love themselves truly, deeply, completely, are the men who never have to search for love. It finds them. So love yourself, starting today, starting right now. You are more than enough. Everything we talked about today, confidence, purpose, emotional intelligence, self-care, authenticity, none of it is reserved for younger men. None of it requires a different face or a different body or a different past. All of it, every single quality on that list is available to you, right now, at the age you are, in the body you have, with the history you carry. Women are not running from men over 60. The right women, emotionally mature, grounded, real women, are running toward men like you. Men who have done the work. Men who know themselves. Men who bring peace, wisdom, humor, and genuine depth to a relationship. The problem has never been your age. The problem, if there is one, is that you may have stopped believing in yourself. And today, I hope we started fixing that. If this touched something deep inside you, if it sparked a fire you thought was lost, then like and subscribe to the channel, because together we are building a community of strength, resilience, and unwavering peace.